Hi everyone, this has been Falcon's Media Corner back again with a brand new AK After a Soul review episode for today. This one's going to be on a new film that just came out on Friday in the UK, in which this is not a theatrical released film. This was released on TV at home on Sky Cinema, and I just got done finishing watching this film this afternoon, and I just wanted to get this review done out of the way so I can just focus on upcoming stuff, as well as I do want to catch up on some old reviews. But anyway, today's review is going to be on the 2022 action thriller, and that is Blacklight. This was directed by Mark Williams, director of Honest Thief, which I thought that movie was okay. It wasn't great, it wasn't terrible, but it was an okay action thriller with Liam Neeson, which this film does star Liam Neeson in this film, in which he plays this FBI operative named Trevor Block, who, like I said, he's an FBI operative who helps any of the FBI operatives who are exposed, and basically he gets caught up with some conspiracy theory, which has something to do with his family and some of his past, and so we see him dealing with all that and trying to figure out what is going on. So I guess that's pretty much the story of Blacklight. That's pretty much all I have to say about. That's pretty much all I can say about its story synopsis. Well, anyway, there are a few action movies with Liam Neeson I do really tend to enjoy, like namely Taken being the most prime known example, which I still really like Taken a lot. It is a great fun, entertaining action thriller, and it still holds up well, even though back then critics were kind of lukewarm on it. But I still think it's a fun watch though. But the sequels, Taken 2, it was okay, but there are ridiculous moments that does tend to make the movie a bit almost really terrible, and it's just not even that good. And Taken 3, let's still talk about that. Well, for other action movies I've seen him in outside of just Taken, I started seeing a few of them outside of that series, like Non-Stop, which I never saw that before, but one of my friends from college told me he had seen it before and he said he enjoyed it, so I did watch it for the first time, and I think that was a pretty solid watch. I did have a pretty good time with that film. And I've also seen him in Unknown, which I thought that was a pretty decent, solid watch. And also Cold Pursuit, which I had a good time with that film back in 2019 when I went to see it in the cinemas. Even though back then, before all that when it was released, there was controversy surrounding Neeson due to the whole racist stuff and all that, which almost kind of ruined his career. But not as like any of the stars that we all tend to love that have kind of destroyed their own careers of what we know about them now. Even though I am a fan of Liam Neeson because I think he's a great actor. I loved him in Schindler's List, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. Batman Begins, which he's great in Batman Begins, and the Lego Movie, which he was really funny in that movie. But for other stars in the film, there wasn't even any people who I knew from any of the projects who were in this film alongside Neeson. And the director, Mark Williams, I have seen one of his films, like I said, which was Honest Thief, which I think was an okay film, and I didn't even notice it was him who directed this film when I did a bit of research about this film. And so this film did not get a theatrical release in the UK, although in the US it did get a theatrical release in February, and I saw a couple reviews on that, and I was wondering when this was going to come out in the UK. So this came out a couple days ago on Friday, and I just got done finishing watching this film this afternoon, and I 100% do tend to agree with my friends of what they've already said about this movie, because this movie was just dull, boring, and awful all around. Well, for Liam Neeson, being the main star of the movie, like any action role he's in, no matter what he's in, he can still pull off some good acting skills and being kind of fun and likable and entertaining. But here for Blacklight, I could see what he was given here, but there wasn't really anything you could say for this movie overall for what he was given, and he's just playing the same old character that we've already seen before playing in the past, which it was pretty much generic. And this has got to be, shockingly, I have to say this, that this is arguably got to be Liam Neeson's worst action role he's ever been in, and this is definitely the worst Liam Neeson film I've ever seen. Even though I love the man, he's a great actor, but here for Blacklight, he couldn't save anything for this movie overall. And the other performances in the film, I kind of found them pretty much dull, and their characters really weren't even that memorable enough. And even the story as well was really forgettable, and I couldn't even remember what the hell was going on in this film, since there's tons and tons of exposition here in this film, which I got less invested, and then I just couldn't care for really what was going on for when there was tons and tons of expositions instead of just action scenes, which we'll talk about those in a couple seconds. But yeah, anyway, and the direction by Mark Williams wasn't great. It was really bad. for the action sequences, which the action in this film were extremely dull and really not memorable enough for being, crazily insane like any other Liam Neeson action film. There is no signs of blood in this film, like no matter like any other like for any character who gets killed, which I kind of found that really bad. And even the editing too. Oh my god, the editing here in this film is just awful. It's really, really bad. Like there are some quick cuts, which is just bad, and even the camera work for outside of action is just really bad. Like there are some Dutch angles like this that just reminded me of Battlefield Earth, which I hate Battlefield Earth, and there's also Dutch angles like in Sky High and Thor, which I enjoy those movies, but here for Blacklight, it's just awful. And nothing really could save this movie overall for dull performances, forgettable story, less memorable action, and lacks action, since this movie just completely lacks action, since it mostly focuses on exposition, which which they weren't even that interesting. Just nothing really could save this movie overall, and this has gotta be Liam Neeson's worst action role he's ever done. Even though I love the man, but this is definitely his worst he's ever done, and this is definitely another least favorite movie of mine of 2022 for me. And as you guys may have guessed, Blacklight is the second film of this year to be given the exact same rating I did yesterday, and this movie deserves to get a half a star out of 5. That's 2 films I've given both these ratings. One, which is an animated film, and now an action thriller, which is this movie. I've just gotten done talking, so that's at least I'm done talking about those 2 films, so I can just focus on big stuff that I'm really looking forward to seeing for the rest of this year. So I'm looking forward to seeing some new releases for the next few days. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching for my AK After Assault review on Blacklight, and let me know what you think of this film if you have seen this already. Did you personally enjoy it, or did you absolutely despise this film? And also, I also like to know, what is your favorite action thriller with Liam Neeson? Mine is definitely Taken. So thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for more reviews. And as always, this has been Foggins Media Corner signing off.